control. Bravo team. Time to fight, Guardians. Capture all zones.
Alright, fellas, what's going on? Denonu here, back again with another commentary. Trying to stick to my new schedule, so 2 commentaries a week. Anyway, today we're going to talk about something that's close and dear to my heart, and that is comic book movies. Comic book movies are pretty badass. Like, I'm a huge comic book fan. And I think today, or was it yesterday, the Deadpool movie trailer came out. Because I know we had like the teaser but before the trailer, and then the actual trailer came out. And when I seen it, it was like, that was somebody who knows Deadpool. Like, I'm a huge Deadpool fan, been reading his stuff since the mid-90s. Back when his character first came out. And it seems to me that Fox, for whatever reason, I do not know why, it seems like that they are I can't even admit it. It's like they're doing their damn thing. I mean, I can honestly say that, yeah, I mean, they're changing things here and there, but like they're keeping the core character there. And that's kind of surprising because Deadpool's a character where it's a very mature comic book and it's also an immature comic book at the same time. And what I mean by mature is you have a lot of gore, you have a lot of violence, you have a lot of death. I mean, hell, he gets holes blown through him like every other page. I mean, that's just the way it is because he heals. And that's something that I didn't think that they could do on film. I know they did it with X-Men with Wolverine, but at least on screen, they don't ever take Wolverine to the extremes that they take him to in the comic book. Like in the comic book, he had like all of his flesh blown off of him where he was just the skeleton. Or like when Magneto ripped the adamantium out of him and left him damn near dead. They don't do those things on screen because it's like they don't want to make the movie too violent, I guess. But with this one, they just said, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna do it. The fans want us to do it, so we're just gonna do it for once. And it seems to me like something else that dropped this week was you had that Fantastic Four reboot trailer come out. And a lot of people ain't liking it. I don't know if it's the actual trailer, but I know something leaked for it. I want to say like people, you know, like the trailer got out there. I don't think it leaked, but I think that the official embargo for the trailer for the normal review guys who do them, it came out today. But the people who weren't, let's say the normal people, they seen it, gave their thoughts about it on it yesterday when it leaked out yesterday. And that's also made by Fox, and that seems like it's be going in the other direction of them fucking with shit. And it's and I just don't understand why they just can't make a movie. Like I said, I mean, I'm a huge fan of comic books. I'm not a perfectionist. I know that when you take one medium from writing into video, live action, what have you, that things are going to change. They have to make those changes according to what they do. But some of the changes, or at least to me, they don't have to be changed. Like, they had like a little, like 30-second clip showing Dr. Doom walking down a hallway, popping people's heads, making their brains come out the, you know, out the back of their head. And not mad at that. You know, because, you know, it's Dr. Doom, I guess, but he looked like shit. I can honestly say it. I mean, he looked like shit. If they would have never titled that, you know, that clip, you would have never known that movie was Fantastic Four. That's how different he looks from the source material. Now, granted, I can understand, I know at least with doing that, they're doing the whole Ultimate Fantastic Four. I know, along with that, Dr. Doom's body is like all organic steel or metal, what have you. But they're gonna make that look a hell of a lot better. I mean, if you can make Colossus look good in X-Men 2 and Deadpool, then you can make, you know, Dr. Doom look badass without making him look like a damn mechanized alien. Because that was like the first thing I thought when I seen it. I was like, he looks like an alien. He doesn't look like Dr. Doom anyway in the slightest. And the reason why I can say I can understand changes is because for those of you who don't know, Ultimate Doctor Doom has like goat legs, like a Minotaur would have goat legs. You know, so it's like I can understand changing him. It's like good, make that change because that's like a change that if they didn't do that, I don't see how they could pull that off on screen. People would just think it looks silly. And if you're trying to make a not a superhero movie that isn't silly, then it's gonna the tone is it's gonna be off. It's not gonna give the audience what they expect. So that I can understand, but them making all these unnecessary changes to the property, and it's like I know I made a not on YouTube. I don't think I ever talked about it, but I remember making like a long ass Facebook comment to somebody when they announced that the black guy, I think his name was Michael B. Jordan, was gonna be Human Torch, and how some people was like, oh, they don't care or whatever. But I'm like, fuck that. I've always been somebody, don't get me wrong, I'm black, and I want to see more black people in movies. But when I'm going to use the term whitewash, but when they whitewash or in this case, blackwash a character, that's fucking stupid. Because to me, that undermines everything that you want. It's kind of like affirmative action. That's how I see it. I know it's not technically the same thing, but that's how I see it. It's like, okay, we have to make our token black guy, so here you go. We're going to give him this character. It's like, you didn't earn that on your own. You didn't do nothing. You just kind of pandering to the people, and you're just doing it just to do it. Not to mention that Johnny Storm is a white guy who's been established since like 1965 or some shit. It was like the early 60s when Fantastic Four was first made. So you can't just be like, oh, he's black now. It's like, fucking no. I can understand if like the Ultimate Fantastic Four, if he was black, or let's say him and Sue was black. But no, Ultimate Fantastic Four, he's a fucking white guy too. So it just pisses me off that, that they're making those unnecessary changes. And maybe it's today's day and age, maybe, because I know race is like a real big thing. And don't get me wrong, I am so happy that society is finally jumping on these race issues and all of this bullshit that is really a part of racism that shouldn't be there. I'm glad that we're jumping on it. Don't get me wrong, but I just hate how companies nowadays don't have any balls. Like, instead of just saying, look, we're gonna make the movie how we want to make it. He's a white character. Let's just stick to it. We can't just make him black. Instead of doing that, they're just kind of just shoving it down, people's throats and just doing the complete opposite. It's like they're just catering, like, oh, like, okay, well, since Fantastic Four is all white, we don't want to, we want to get black people to watch our movie too, so let's make one of them black. It's like, fucking no. Stupid. At least in Deadpool, you don't got those problems because, they're mostly white people in that. I don't think they have any black people in that movie, but I could be wrong, but I'm glad they're keeping that kind of sort of hands off. They're like, look, we're just making the comic book. Because I guess after the backlash with that, that travesty that was Wolverine Origins, that they seen how fans hate that, but yet fans still love the character. So I guess they're trying to create a brand new franchise, and I think that they can do it. I honestly do, because they didn't have to put Colossus, and I think they got another X-Men in there too. That they can really make a new franchise, and actually, I think what they're trying to do, because I remember reading a rumor that they're trying to take the new Fantastic Four movie and cross it over with, like, X-Men. Why would you take that bullshit and cross it over with X-Men, which is just now starting to get back on its feet with First Class and Days of Future Past? Now, granted, I hated First Class. Only loved Magneto and Professor X in that movie. Everything else was bullshit. Because again, that was another movie that they kind of jumped into and kind of sort of fucked up. But it's just I'm glad that they're seeing, like, okay, maybe we're we got to do things right, at least by the fans, and then then we can spin the ball wherever. And I think that's what they did with Days of Future Past, that they were acknowledging that they fucked up, just like in the Deadpool teaser trailer. they they had the part where he was saying, from the studio that sewed his motherfucking mouth shut the first time. So it's like they're making fun of themselves because they know they fucked up. And it's like I'm loving that aspect of it, of how they are trying to turn things around. I'm hoping they continue that ball with Fantastic Four, though. I know I was reading nothing but hate about it. I haven't seen it myself, but I know when I do watch it, I'm probably not gonna like it. But I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna wait and see it. But what I'm really hoping is for Fantastic Four to flop so hard. I want like Fantastic Four to flop like a limp dick. That's what I want, you know, Fantastic Four to do, because I want them to sell it back to Marvel, or you know, because I can't see them giving it to them. But I want Fantastic Four to go back to Marvel, because who knows, maybe they'll start making Fantastic Four comic books again, and they would tie in the whole cosmic thing that they're about to do. Because it's like, for those that don't know, in Marvel comic books, all of these characters from all of their different movies are always in the, you know, in the universe, obviously, and they all know each other. They probably, you know, they got each other all on speed dial and what have you. And for Marvel to do a cosmic event movie and not have like Galactus or the Silver Surfer, it's just kind of like, it feels like something is missing. Like whenever they talk about people with powers or enhanced people or whatever they call them in Marvel, you know, in the comic book they're called fucking mutants. That was like their go-to. That's why you have so many mutants in Marvel comic books, because for like the longest time that was their thing. That was like, whenever somebody had powers, it was like, oh, he's a fucking mutant, you know. And it just pains me as a fan of, you know, that medium of the comic book to watch the movies and then not see like all of those fan interactions, or not fan interactions, but character interactions that you see in the comic books. Like, for those that don't know, Wolverine has little comical issues with like everybody he meets in Marvel. And most of them are like, whenever Spider-Man and Wolverine get together, they have a fight. It'll probably be over a misunderstanding, but they will fight. Or when he meets Ben Grimm, they always fight. 9 times out of 10. When he meets it was somebody else. Damn, I can't think about it. But it was somebody else. But they always fight too. And like, Wolverine has always had this air of like, oh, I slept with every bad chick in Marvel. So like, you know, that's Scarlet Witch, that's Storm, that's you know, all of those really hot chicks, you know, that's in Marvel. Besides a few. But I mean, it's like you have all of these other dynamics that they've developed in the comic books for like the past 60 going on 70 years. And it's just, you have none of that in the movies. And it's like, I just want all of that to be under one universe. I think my ultimate goal as a fan is I want Marvel to either make deals with Sony and Fox. I know they got the one with Sony, but I want them to make a deal with Fox and whoever else owns their property and whoever else does those Hulk movies, because that's the reason why, you know, we're not seeing a Hulk movie. But I want them to either make deals, or now that they got that Disney money and they ranking in that billions and billions of dollars, I want them to like either buy their properties back, or at worst get them back, make deals so you can take those characters and bring them into your, you know, into their movies, so that they can flesh out and have the universe be all encompassing. Granted, I don't want to start seeing, you know, Iron Man in the X-Men movie. Granted, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I mean, Iron Man's like my favorite character right now. It used to be Spider-Man until that bullshit that happened a few years ago. But it would be nice to watch an X-Men movie, and then like they're watching TV or something, and they'd be like, Stark Industries, da, 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 da. You know, it just seems like that would be good, because that's what happens in the comic books. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes the whole universe more believable at that point. And I would love to see, like, you know, a badass. I mean, like, I know it's never gonna happen, but I would love to see like Marvel get their universe together and have all of those properties. And I want DC Comics to do the same thing, but DC comic books, they're iffy right now too. It's like, some things I like about how they're doing things, and some things I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, why aren't you? Why aren't you doing this shit right? But I want DC to get to get their ball moving, and I want them to have the same thing. I want to see a badass Justice League movie. All they got to do is make the damn cartoon from back in the day. Well, I say back in the day, but I mean it was really a few years ago. That's all I want. I want to see like a Justice League movie with Ben Affleck as Batman, because after seeing that trailer, he's gonna probably kill it. Still got to see him in costume and see all that going on, but it's just I want him as Batman. I want the new Superman in there. Wonder Woman's kind of I would have rather them chose like an MMA chick or somebody who actually looks like they can fight rather than a supermodel, but hey, they already got her cast. Have her there as Wonder Woman, and have like, instead of having the guy that they picked as Flash in the movie, I forget what the guy's name is, but it's some other white guy. But get guy from the TV show to jump on there. Get Stephen Amell from Arrow, get him to be Green Arrow. It's like, you already got all these fucking characters. Why not just make your own universe and make deals happen, shake hands, exchange money, and get the ball moving on this shit and make money for everybody? Because who wouldn't like that? I mean, granted, whether you're a Marvel fan or a DC fan, if you're a comic book fan, you want to see your properties done right, and certain aspects they're doing extremely well. Like Marvel is doing their damn thing with the movies. Not so much the TV shows. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., I liked it, seen it every week. I personally like it, but I know for a lot of people they don't like it. But DC doing shitty movie-wise besides Batman. But yet on the TV series side of things, they're killing it with Flash and Green Arrow. And they're expanding that to the... What did they got some other show where they're taking, certain people from Flash and, they're bringing in the one-time guy, and they got another series coming out this fall. Then you got Suicide Squad movie coming out, which may be hit or miss depending on how they do that, because it's like that's another movie where I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna go. With the new Joker looking like that, but it's like they're killing it in certain aspects, and it's like, why can't they just get all that together? DC have their universe, Marvel have their universe, and I think the biggest thing I want to see is like an Avengers versus Justice League movie. That's that's like my end game. That's like, that Marvel Phase 3, that's my like Phase 4 right there. Is that Avengers versus Justice League, and have that be an all-out badass movie. That's like, make it 3 hours long. Fuck it. Give me that Lord of the Rings experience. They can make it 3 separate movies. I don't care. I would love that. It was like, as a comic book fan, but I don't know. I don't see it happening anytime soon, though. I mean, maybe by 2030. Maybe we'll get that, but anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I know I kind of rambled on a little bit, but that's when I get to talking about stuff I like, I will ramble on. Like, I could talk for like the next hour and a half, but I'm not gonna do that to you guys. So if you guys have anything to say about it or comic movies in general, I know I love me a comment debate. I love starting wars and comments about comic book characters, about who can beat who. But write anything down there in the comments below. My name is Denonu, aka the man with the biggest and most blackest privilege on YouTube, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.